to the Little Blue Pot, it's Jem here. Thank you for clicking on this video. I think you're brilliant for clicking on this video because it's really important to know these signs, spot these signs, and basically how to know if someone is feeling suicidal. We need to be talking about this because suicide is a serious problem, especially with men aged 15 to 44. But in the UK in 2015 there were around 6,500 suicides in the UK. So we really need to be thinking about these signs, because it might be that we can help someone to get through this distressing time so that they don't end up taking their life. And we need to be thinking about how we can support them as well when they're going through this distressing time. So I'm going to be covering all of that, in this video, and I'm going to be going through the signs because it's important to remember this, because you really could save someone's life. Please check out my other videos on suicide. I have 2 at the moment as this video has come out. Feeling suicidal, one to watch if you are feeling suicidal, and also understanding suicide, so perhaps going into some of the reasons why some people go towards this. I myself have gone towards this, both acting out on my suicidal thoughts by taking overdoses, and also having lived for a very long time with suicidal thoughts, which are very distressing, not just for me but for those people around me. And I think that they are very much aware of the signs now because of going through being with me, but not everyone is aware of the signs. So let's talk about the signs. So signs to look out for. What are the warning signs? Saving the life of someone from suicide depends on our ability to recognise those people who are in distress and may be at risk. So we need to think about these signs. I've taken this information from the American Association of Suicidology, and they developed a simple tool that is available for everyone to use to remember the signs of suicide. This tool is called Is Path Warm? Now, what does that mean? Well, it's an acronym to start with. It's an acronym that will, and each letter represents a different word that we need to think about as the signs. So I will spell it out and then I'll go through each one. So we've got I for ideation, which is suicidal thoughts, S for substance abuse, P for purposelessness, A for anxiety, T for trapped, H for hopelessness and helplessness, W for withdrawal, A for anger, R for recklessness, and M for mood changes. So let's go through what all of those mean. So number 1, ideation. This is when someone has threatened or communicated that they want to take their life. Visualizing or imagining your own death and how you would do it is another way that people have suicidal ideation, but just having these ideas doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do it. I've had many thoughts, more thoughts than actual suicidal behavior, and it doesn't necessarily mean when I've had these thoughts I'm going to act on them, but I can have very clear visualizations of what is going on. So to spot this, if they've threatened or communicated how they're feeling, this is a very big sign that something is going on. Number 2, substance abuse. This is the S. So drugs and alcohol, they may have recently started drinking, or drinking more than they have previously, or they may have misused drugs for the first time. It may be something that you're noticing that they're doing far more often and reaching towards those things, and this is a really big telltale sign, because they're obviously not coping, and to cope with the distressing thoughts they're possibly drinking or taking drugs to block out thoughts, block out the feelings, or not just for suicide but blocking out the feelings of pain, suffering, depression, anxiety, and drinking to ease the pain. Number 3, purposelessness. This is the P. So number 3 is the P. Having no purpose or apparent meaning, having no aim or goal, feeling aimless. They may say they feel like, what is the point? Or they may say they have no reason for living. So having purposelessness is another sign. Number 4, anxiety. This is our A. So we've got ideation, substance abuse for the is, and then PA for beginning of the path. So anxiety is the A. I hope that made sense. Apologies if it didn't. Anxiety, having a sense of panic or fear, not able to be calm or sit still, feeling nervous, restless or tense, and also suffering from insomnia. So if they're experiencing any of these, this is another sign that they could be feeling suicidal. And with all of these signs, they may be experiencing a few of them, all of them, most of them, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to commit suicide. It just means that these are some of the signs that they may be feeling suicidal. Number 5 is trapped. They believe that there is no way out of their current situation. So they are feeling trapped, they're feeling lost, they're feeling like they can't go on where they're in their current situation that they are in. Number 6, hopelessness. They may have a negative sense of self, others and the future. They may feel that the future appears hopeless with little chance of change. So if this is something you are noticing, then this is something that could be one of the signs that someone is feeling suicidal. Number 7, withdrawal. So this is now going into our warm, our W for warm. Withdrawal, desire to withdraw from family, friends and society. Have you noticed that they have stopped seeing friends or spending more time alone, especially if this is completely out of character? So is this something that you're noticing as well? The next one, A for anger, and this is number 8. Feelings of rage or uncontrolled anger. Have they become more likely to get angry at situations that didn't cause anger previously? Is this something that you're noticing as well? And number 9, recklessness. Engaging in risky activities without thinking about the consequences, perhaps spending large amounts of money on a whim, or not wanting to obey speed limits or traffic lights. Perhaps you're feeling that they are perhaps out of control, and this is another sign. And finally, number 10, mood changes. Are they behaving out of character? Are they experiencing dramatic shifts in states? If you recognize any of those, really important. I'm just going to go through those again. So we've got I for ideation, S for substance abuse, P for purposelessness, A for anxiety, T for trapped, H for hopelessness or helplessness, W for withdrawal, A for anger, R for recklessness, and mood changes. So is path warm? Hopefully that has given you a lot more insight, and perhaps you've maybe noticed these in someone that you care about. If you suspect someone may be at risk of suicide, it is important to ask them directly about suicidal thoughts. Do not avoid using the word suicide. It is important to ask the question without dread and without expressing any negative judgment. The question must be direct and to the point. So, for example, are you having suicide thoughts? Sorry, are you having thoughts of suicide, or are you thinking about killing yourself? Now, this is all really, really quite intense stuff to be thinking about, and it's not a conversation that you would plan on having with someone, but perhaps this is their first line of communication, because if you get them to talk about how they're feeling, this may prevent them from wanting to do anything, wanting to commit suicide. So how should you talk to them? Tell them, sorry, apologies reading down, but I want to get this just right. How should I talk to them? Tell them that you care and that you want to help them. Express empathy to the person and for what they are going through. Clearly state that thoughts of suicide are often associated with a treatable mental disorder, as this may instill a sense of hope for that person. Tell the person that the thoughts of suicide are common and do not need to be acted upon. Now, really, really important stuff in this video. I hope that this has given you a little bit more of an insight into how to support someone. I will be doing another video on how the steps to help someone if they're feeling suicidal, but today I wanted to just give a bit of information of how to talk to them, because hopefully getting them to communicate will make them feel less alone, make them feel less likely to go and commit suicide. Hope this has been helpful. Please comment in the space below. Have you battled with suicidal thoughts? Do you recognise some of these signs and symptoms in yourself, or as a person who's caring for someone who may be suffering from suicidal thoughts? Is this something that you can recognise and maybe put into practice to get them the help that they very much need? Thanks for watching. Please take care. Please be kind to yourself. Please make sure that you are taking care of the person who is suffering, and please make sure you're taking care of yourself as well. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.